Mississippi State wins over Southeastern Louisiana. After 15 minutes of game action, the score was 3-0. And perhaps there were some people that were sitting inside Davis-Wade Stadium that were going, and then at the half it was 20-7. Okay, a little more comfortable. And then the second half was a shutout. Mississippi State scored 7 in the third, 21 fourth quarter points, ultimately winning the game 48-7. You may have listened to some of Brian Haydad's post-game reaction on the Thunder and Lightning podcast yesterday with "These are the things that are true." Did I get it right now? It took me a while.
You did.
Yeah.
That's good.
I added and subtracted words for a while, but
you did.
So let's do the exact same thing we did with Ole Miss. Before we jump into numbers, give me a high-level thought on this game.
I saw this in a couple of group texts that I'm in, and it makes a lot of sense. If you flip the halves, nobody's complaining about anything. If it's 28-0 at the end of the first half, and then they get a garbage touchdown there, and it finishes 48-7, nobody cares. And you talked about Georgia during the Blitz. Kind of a similar game for them, right? They were only up 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. At the end of the day, State won by 40+. They only gave up a smidge over 200 yards. They had 500 yards of offense. They didn't turn the ball over. They had one penalty the entire day. It's a pretty clean performance against an outmatched opponent. You can't complain too much about this one.
Hey, Dad, did you happen to look at the officials list for this game?
Oh God, I did not.
So you didn't
My
notice
guy there?
You didn't notice what happened?
No.
Mark Curl's no longer a referee. He was on the field.
He wasn't a referee last year. He got the demotion last year. Yeah,
so
he was
the demotion
there was a game.
It was 2 years ago. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, because I remember noticing that he was like a center judge or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is now. So he was on that crew in Starkville yesterday. What about you, Borky? High level thought on State in game one.
That the sluggish start early offensively is okay, as long as that doesn't happen moving forward, of course. But there's a common denominator between the game we just got done talking about and the game we are talking about now. The units that the fans are concerned about just so happen to be the ones with new coordinators and a new scheme. Like, if a brand new offense with a new coordinator doesn't look perfect right away, that's okay. And I am not saying do a 2-quarterback system. I'm not saying Will Rogers should lose his job, because he should not. But Mike Wright should get 10 to 15 touches a game and not 5. He should have a really defined role in that offense. He's too electric to keep off the field.
Will Mike Wright's name surface when we get to big overreactions on a Monday? Just curious. Just wondering. So how about this? Mississippi State ran the ball 39 times, and they threw the ball 29 times. Plus 10 on the run-to-pass ratio.
I believe if you look at the statistics today, that Mississippi State is the number 1 rushing offense in the SEC. What world we live in?
Yeah, what world do we live in? Will Rogers, 20 of 29, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 1 time. Talk to me about the game that Will Rogers played.
I mean, it was a B game, if ever. And not in terms of him, but in terms of, if you want to grade it. Didn't really do anything super spectacular, but made the throws that he had to make. The only thing I would, if he was going to address concern, is he didn't really hit any of those big shots down the field. And they took a few of them, but he didn't really hit any of them. So that's something, you want to see definitely in week 2 have happen, because that's what everybody's waiting for. They're waiting to see him, show the arm off a little bit and show that he can make those throws. But by and large, it was a very typical Will Rogers kind of day. If in an air raid system where he said 39 rushing plays, where, 25 of those become passes, I mean, it would have probably been about the same.
Yeah. So, sticking with the running game just for a second, Woody Marks goes 19 carries for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was not able to sit and watch every snap of this game, but I had the entire game up and I watched kind of with one eye almost the entire game. I thought he played well and looked good running the football.
Yeah, ran the ball hard, was explosive, had a couple of chunk runs, also caught 4 passes. Means he's 5 shy of MSU's all-time record now. Just a really solid game for him. His first career 100-yard game. I thought he was really, really good. And then, behind him, I thought that if you said pick the next best back, I thought it was Jeff Pittman, the junior college transfer from Hines. I thought he ran hard. He had a big 4th down run where he was able to make a conversion. I thought he played pretty well. He would be RB2 for me. But Marks looked really good, I thought.
Marks had 4 catches for 59 yards. Creed Whitmore, 4 for 59. Tulu Griffin, 4 for 33. Justin Robinson, 3 for 26. Jaden Wally, 2 for 9. That continues to confuse me. Antonio Harmon had a catch.
Did have a touchdown.
Jacoby Belazar had a catch. Jordan Mosley had a catch. And then you had a couple of balls that were thrown the way of Freddie Roberson and Jeffrey Pittman. In the
State
you think Billy Napier
receivers.
Could use Creed Whitmore, by the way? You think that he would help that Florida offense?
Yeah. State rotated receivers. I mean, it was almost every play they were bringing in, and 2 or 3 different receivers and just taking guys in and out, trying to get everybody reps. Whitmore, I mean, what a great day for him. Thought he might have a chance to be SEC Freshman of the Week. Instead, it went to another MSU player, the kicker, Kyle Ferry. But 100 all-purpose yards and a couple of scores for that young man. It looks like he's going to be a big part of what State wants to do this year.
Nathaniel Watson, 8 tackles to lead Mississippi State. He had 1.5 sacks combined on one of those with Jaden Crumity. He was credited with half a sack. DeMonte Russell had 7 tackles. Jet Johnson, 6 tackles and a sack in the game. He also forced 2 fumbles. Mississippi State recovered 1 fumble in the game. That was on a kicking play, right?
No, they blocked a punt for a touchdown. But no, there was a fumble in the game that Buki Watson recovered.
Gotcha. What about the defense? That one long drive where Southeastern Louisiana hit it 3rd and 20. They threw a screen pass, and guy broke 722 tackles on the way to a 30-yard gain and a first down. That did not strike me as very Mississippi State-like defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I was even when the game was close, as I was watching, I was like, Southeastern Louisiana can't do anything consistently offensively. They can't sustain 3 or 4 drives between now and the end of the game that result in touchdowns that is going to give them actually a chance to win the game.
Right. Yeah, you look at that one play. If they make a tackle there, that's a shutout win with a team under 200 yards of offense. You can't do a whole lot more than that. And Arnett, talked about that today. Just missed tackles. Didn't get to the football, didn't play the way that they're supposed to play. Other than that, though, you're absolutely correct. They were dominant defensively. They couldn't run the ball, they couldn't pass. State was able to get pressure at times, but for the most part, they just swallowed everything up that Southeast was trying to do, and it shows on the stat sheet.
C-Spire text line, I was worried about State starting so slow, but when you watch the Ohio State game, the Southern Cal game, the Georgia game, etc., they all seem to start slow. There's something to that, yes, at the beginning of a season, right? There just is. How does Southeastern Louisiana have both the first and second team all-conference quarterbacks?
No, I think there's a transfer in there somewhere.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.